Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5. In today's video, we're headed to Michigan for 26 laps. Now that's not very long at Michigan, but it presents some very interesting challenges for us since we're going to be down on both horsepower and grip, with particular emphasis on the horsepower. So we'll have to see how well we can do at Michigan. But first, I'll direct your attention to the top right hand corner of the screen. We have basically $4.6 million. If I come over to the work plan and we go to upgrade departments. Now we have enough money right now that we can upgrade our aero to reach 95 across the board on each of the main three portions of the car. Again, we're not worrying about the pit crew issues because right now we're not pitting really when anybody else pits anyway. So speed is not really an issue for us. But what I have decided to do is I feel like there is much more value in us getting from 95 to 100 on the engine than getting from 90 to 95 on the aero. So what I want to do is hold off for a few more races, make it to that $8 million, and buy the engine upgrade. So as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, closer and closer to the playoffs, I really feel like the additional engine power is going to be much more valuable. So I've decided to, instead of going the traditional route of getting everything upgraded at each area before moving on to the next, I really feel like we're going to be in much better shape if we get this engine to 100 first. And then from there, we'll decide where we need to be. It's much more likely that by the time we do our next upgrade, we'll be in next season anyway. But I really, really want to get that engine upgraded to 100% because there is nothing worse on a racetrack than being passed by cars on the straightaway knowing that there's nothing you can do about it if you just can't keep up with them. So we're going to try that route, and we're going to see how it works out. Let's head over to the season standings, because right now I think over these next few races is where this is really going to become tense for us. Now I'm going to swap over to the playoff standings, and if we scroll down, you can see we're here in 15th position. We're not terribly far behind Alex Bowman. However, we are much farther behind than I would prefer to be, and most importantly, we're only 10 points ahead of Clint Bowyer. So this is going to get very, very tense in the coming weeks. Now, if we take a look in the bottom right-hand corner under the needs points section, we got Matty D, who is behind by 20 points. So we have a little bit of a cushion there. And then Tyler Reddick at 29 and so on. So those guys, we do have a bit of a buffer there, but right now we need to stay in front of the 16th position in points because that is where our padding comes from. If we fall to the 16th position in points, then we are in deep trouble if some of these guys behind us start gaining points, or if we have another new winner, first-time winner during the Cup season. Right now we're still at 9. If we scroll up the screen a little bit, you can see we have still the 9 drivers with 1 victory. So it's holding steady there for us over the last few weeks, and we need that to continue. So after Michigan today, where are we going to be headed? Well, we could look at it on this screen, but instead let's head back over to the work plan because we need to assign some employees anyway. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So Michigan is coming up today, and again, I'm looking in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Then we go to Sonoma. Of course, we'll be simulating that race. That is going to be rough for us on points. And I'm not particularly looking forward to seeing how bad our points come out of Sonoma. But then we're going to 3 speedways in a row. Or more appropriately, we're going to Chicago and then Pocono twice. So we need to be good at Pocono, and it has been forever since I turned a lap at Pocono. So that is going to make it even more interesting to see if I can work out exactly what we want to do there. But for today, we need to get a speedway chassis up and going, and I guess we could do 2 speedway chassis and use one of them at Sonoma since it's either that or a short track chassis. So we'll go ahead and work on chassis number 2. All right, let's go ahead and get that done. All right, then we'll go to speedway chassis number 1. We'll do the same thing, get all of these guys up and running. Hard to believe we would have a full Cup team with only 6 employees, essentially, other than me as the driver. So that is a very skeleton crew, I would argue. But we're going to have chassis number 2 available for us today, and then chassis number 1 will be ready for Sonoma, at least as much as a Speedway chassis can be ready for Sonoma. Let's go ahead and start that work. Get these guys up and going. So now, when I see Michigan is coming up, this is the one thing that made it very hard for me to skip over that upgrade in the aero department, because we could really use that at Michigan. That would give us a little bit of additional grip as well as a little bit less drag. But for now, we're headed to Michigan, 26 laps, get the absolute best finish we possibly can. All right, folks, it is race time here at Michigan. Unfortunately, our qualifying position is just not very good. The qualifying run I had wasn't terrible. It just, unfortunately, points out some of the weaknesses we have on the car. So we'll be starting in the 20th position, assuming, of course, nobody in front of us fails tech or has any issues like that, such as Joey Logano. We'll see if he was starting in front of us. I gotta think he was, and yeah, there we go. You can see we're down to the inside lane now.
Coming to the green.
So that means we've moved up to 19th. So I'm a little worried about our overall speed here at Michigan now, even more than I was earlier. I was hoping we could qualify somewhere around 13th to 15th. That would have given me a little bit of hope. So now we've just got to hope that the AI were much faster in qualifying.
Careful, still there.
Than they're going to be in the race. So I cannot run this wide open. Normally you should be able to, but I cannot.
Careful, still there.
I do need to breathe the throttle on entry, and we'll see how that changes over the course of a run.
You're clear.
But you could hear it there, me breathing the throttle on entry. I don't come anywhere close to all the way out of it. Definitely not that far, but maybe 3/4 throttle, maybe sometimes a little bit more, just depending on if we're in the draft and we got a little bit more entry speed than I was planning on. Like here, I'm going to go ahead and for a few laps I'm breathing it maybe a little bit more than I have to. There you can see that 48, a great run off the high side. Turning a lot of RPMs. All right, this second groove is a little bit easier for me to run. I don't have to breathe the throttle quite as much. Oh, we actually cleared the 48 there. I wasn't expecting to clear him. Only 6 laps here in stage number 1. Oh, wow. I came up on the 41 car pretty quick there.
Still there.
I certainly wasn't expecting, because again, I was out of the throttle quite a bit on corner entry and still was able to come in on him. Yeah, like same thing here. I was out of the gas and still pulling him. All right, here in this situation, I would actually have preferred to go with the 88 there. You know, former teammate and all. But I don't know that I want to be on the outside.
Careful, still there.
All right, I got completely out of the gas there on the entry because we were moving right along coming into turn 1, and I wanted to make sure I could get that thing turned with a car to our outside.
Still there. Stay at the bottom here. You got room. You're clear.
All right, so I'm finding that I can get out of the gas quite a bit more and not really lose any speed to these guys, at least not where we are in the field.
Got one down low now. All right, you're clear.
Oh yeah, now we're going to have a nice run on the 41. All right, let's see if we can pull out and actually maintain this position. Oh, he's going to pull right back in front of us, though. Okay, so it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. All right, but we are running 15th. Again, no stage points for 15th, but it does help me breathe maybe a touch better. knowing that we have gained a few positions and we haven't lost any positions here in the first stage anyway. And as of right now, I am planning on pitting after stage 2, but we'll see how that changes. That I can definitely be talked out of that at this point. Oh, he decided to go high there. I have not seen the 41 go high at all. All right, here he comes. Okay, so 14th position. I thought I was going to have to get up there and maybe block him to hold that position. But 14th, we need every spot we can get, whether they're paying points or not. All right, so 20 laps remaining. Of course, we don't need to pit, and we're not right now. All right, so starting on the outside, let's see what we can do out here. And for turns 1 and 2, more importantly, let's see what the guys in front of us can do.
Hold your line, got one inside. Careful, still there.
All right, we held our own pretty good coming up through the gears.
Stay high up there. Inside, inside.
All right, hopefully we got a little momentum coming off the corner. We can come back on these guys a little bit.
Hold your line, stay high.
And sure enough, we're coming back on them a little bit.
Careful, still there. Careful, still there.
I had to breathe the throttle there a little bit to stay off the 42.
Careful, still there.
A little too tight on the throttle to get underneath him, even though he was giving us quite a bit of room there.
Still there. Hold your line, got one inside.
Yeah, car just doesn't quite rotate enough for what I need. I really want it to rotate a little bit more. The good news is we can help that with a wedge adjustment.
Still there.
When and if we come into pit, we can help that overall rotation by decreasing that wedge. But you can see, being on the outside is not doing us any favors right now. I simply cannot maintain enough speed out there. Get back down to the bottom. See if we can't tuck in behind this 20 car.
Got one up top.
Now when we do the iRacing, I have to remember that this is a different driver than when we're in NASCAR heat. So
Still there.
oh, hello, somebody's in our right
Still
rear.
there.
I think that was the 21 coming off the corner there. I thought for a second we were going to get turned into the fence. Yeah, we need some more overall rotation for sure.
Got one peeking outside.
All right, come on. We need somebody to pull in behind us and give us a nice push. Feel like we're at Daytona right now.
Stay
Give us a
low,
push.
stay low.
But you can see going through the corners, we're not terrible compared to these guys. At least around the 15th to 20th position. We're not terrible. We're certainly not, you know, destroying them through the corners, but at the same time... Oh, the 21. Hold on. Okay. I was afraid he might be going to get on the brakes on corner entry, and we were way too close for him to be doing that.
Careful, still there.
Wow. So right on cue, just like we were talking about at the beginning of the video, there's nothing worse than having somebody pass you on the straightaway and there's nothing you can do about it.
High, careful. Just a couple more turns. Two more. Two to go.
All right, 2 laps to go.
Still there inside.
All right, I'm going to pull up behind the 41. Now, the drafting is not crazy. I have turned it down into options so that it's not
Careful. Still there.
full strength. but I still want to get all the draft I
Hold
can.
your
It's
line,
still
stay
there,
high.
just not quite as much.
You got one to go.
All right, just watching these guys blow by me on the straightaway and pull away, that is the least amount of fun you can have in a race car. It's one thing to know they're beating you because they're simply handling better or they're better drivers. That's one thing, but to get beat on engine horsepower is a whole different thing. You can hear that engine straining. It's trying to get me there. We're just not getting there quickly enough. All right, we got a nice run coming off the corner. Unfortunately, we're not going to be close enough to be able to do anything with it. So 19th, definitely not the stage we were looking for. Points or no points. We did not want to lose spots like that. All right, but now it's time to pit. And wedge, I'm going to go down a full percent because this is the final stage and why not? All right, let's go ahead and pit, advance on. So now we're on the outside lane in the very back.
All right, man.
This
You're coming to the
should
green.
get interesting.
Be ready here. Got a car load now.
We do not have long to get there, but I'm hoping.
Careful. Still there.
All right, so 19th is the position. Look at this. Even the guys in the
Careful.
back
Still there.
are pulling away from us under throttle on the start, which definitely should not be happening.
Careful. Still there.
All right, let's see if we can get a handful of them here. Oh, right up in front of me. I really needed some help there from the 77. And at this point, we're sort of take no prisoners.
Clear low, bud. You got room. You're clear there. All clear.
We got to try to find a hole and get in it.
Careful. Still there.
All right, I'm going to stay up on this high side
Clear all
right
around
now.
there.
Oh, never mind. I thought everybody was going to shoot low.
All right. You're clear.
Oh, he said I was clear. I was just about to get up there by the wall. And if you're like me, at the last second, you saw a fender appear.
Still there.
Not sure whose fender that was.
Hold your line. Stay high.
Again, go where they're not. That's what I'm trying to do right
Still
now.
there. All right. You're clear there.
All right, where are you guys going? This is the beauty of NASCAR Heat 5. The AI. All right, so you can see the car start wiggling around. That's where I took the... Because, see, the car was very stable. With, I believe it was 41% off the top of my head, wedge. But now that I dropped it to 50, because everything was based on the 51% in having stability there.
Outside.
But now that I've dropped it to 50, the car is not as stable. So you probably see the car, it wants to wiggle around quite a bit more. It's a little more unpredictable. Still not bad. I mean, we're still not, you know, on the edge of about to wreck and lose control or anything, but it is definitely wiggling around more.
All right, you're clear there.
All right, so 19th is where we were. Now we're up to 21st. Unfortunately, we've got a little bit of room here. We need to make up this time very
You
quickly.
got this.
All right, luckily, a couple of those guys went high. That should help us. But yeah, when you go into a corner, like we did a few laps ago, and for actually the first few laps after the restart, when you go into a corner and you don't know where those guys are going. Some of them went straight to the wall, some of them went to the bottom, some of them went to the middle. There's nothing better than that when racing against the AI. And for that reason, NASCAR Heat 5 is the single player experience right now. Now, of course, you have to take the good with the bad. And there are definitely physics things that, physics, tires, and so on, that you're going to have to deal with because this version of NASCAR
there on the
Heat.
outside.
Oh, there we go, right there. There you can see the tail wagging the dog. That wasn't necessarily loose. That was unpredictability out of the car because I wasn't expecting that.
Stay high up here.
All right, so now we're back up here with the guys we had been running with. So we made it to 20th. So at this point, I'm considering it a very successful pit stop.
Stay high up here.
I think I'm losing my voice here a little bit. All right, now we're having the worst situation. This is where we're basically just side by side stuck
Careful, still there.
with the 88 car. We're faster than him because in the past we would not have been able to hang with him
Stay high up here.
like this side by side on the outside. We never would have been able to do it.
Alright, you're clear
Okay,
there.
finally we're going to get by him. Unfortunately, only a couple laps
Stay
to
with the
go.
line.
All right, here he
Inside,
comes
inside.
back. Now I got to leave him room on corner entry. Oh, yeah, that wasn't the best corner entry.
Stay high, stay high.
And so once again, here we are side by side with the 88.
Careful, still there. Stay high. stay
Again, I'm
high.
not lifting very much, particularly on the entry to turn 3.
All clear.
All right, so now final lap. I'm going to have to block him down the straightaway here
You
some.
got one to go.
No, I couldn't do anything with him because it would have ruined my angle into the corner as well.
Stay high up there.
Okay, we're pulling away from him down the straight.
Hold your line, stay high.
All right, we've been killing him through 3 and 4.
Careful, still there.
And I basically pegged it to the floor there.
Careful, still there. You got room, you're clear there.
All right, we're clear. So, well, it's not much, but we'll take a little bit of a moral victory there at the end. 19th position. Yeah, that is not what we needed for the points. So I'm going to cringe a little bit as we move forward and look. First and foremost, let's look and see. Where was Clint Bowyer? Oh no, Clint Bowyer finished in 6th. Plus, that likely means he got some stage points as well, so this does not look good for us at all. All right, first things first. Race earnings. Oh, that's awful. 785. I ain't gotten so used to, somewhere between 900,000 and a million. 785,000 is awful. And oof, okay. That's painful. That's painful. Not only did Clint Bowyer go by us, but now he's 16 points ahead. And now we're 20 points behind Bowman. Now we did manage to pass Bowman and finish ahead of him by 1 spot there. So, again, small moral victories. But it's not going to count for a whole lot. 20 points behind, 16 points behind. These are not what we need to see. So now that is going to move us back to the final points position in the playoffs. And of course that assumes that the winner, who won this race? Denny Hamlin. I'm pretty sure he's already got a victory this season. So that, well, although it does say Denny Hamlin has won. Oh, never mind. This is the point standings. My bad. I thought we were seeing some other. Okay. So we're going to have to find out for sure when we come back next time. But for today, we salvaged the best we could out of Michigan. Unfortunately, that was only 19th. So when we come back next time, we'll take a look at those points, see if we got another first-time winner, and what can we do moving forward with Sonoma coming up next. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And stay tuned for more NASCAR Heat 5.